Moose shit. Welcome to Moose Shit, where we spot bullshit. My name is Moose, and I'm joined by my dangerous dancers, Koob and Al. How you guys doing today?
I was doing pretty good. And then, this morning I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. Still got up on time, you know what I mean? I got up at 10:45. Think about that. I just cut my valuable sleep. It's the weekend, bro. I wanted to get as much sleep as possible. And I cut that into basically by 2 hours because, I was like, yeah, we have to record. I gotta be at the recording. And then, you know what happens? Recording's at 11 o'clock. Moose text, can we push it back 15 minutes? I was like, okay. I was like, you could just be, doing something. It's holding them up a little bit. That's okay. But no, it's just the same thing that Moose does every single time, is that he just plans for a time that he never knows, or he knows that he's never going to be able to meet. And then he's just going to ask to push back every single time. Like, what is the point? Like, hey, Alex, I'm going to come pick you up at 1 o'clock, but every single time I come to get you, it's going to be 1:30. Like, why not just say, Alex, I'm going to come pick you up at 1:30? Huh, Moose? Why wouldn't you just say that?
I had every intention of trying to make it here at 11, but then midway through my workout, I realized there was no way that I was going to get here at 11. So I thought that I could possibly get here at 11:15, because let's say it was 11:07 it was like around 11:06, 11:07 when I started my last exercise. I'm like, it's just sit-ups. It doesn't take forever. So I started it, and then I thought, oh, I made great time. And then Alex texted, and I realized it was 11:17. It took me 10 minutes to do all those sets. So I had every intention of trying to make it on time and respecting your guys' time. It's just, it didn't work out.
I don't know, Alex. Doesn't this happen like every other week, it feels like? Alex. You know what? This just proves that both of you guys are idiots, bro. You suck. He sucks. I'm the only one, bro. See now, Moose. I don't want to hear anything about. Oh, I'm the best one.
Hello?
I am the best one.
Can
Hello,
you hear me
Alex.
now?
Earth to
Oh my
Alex.
God. I was talking the whole time. I was wondering why you were ignoring me and just yapping. The whole time I was contributing.
When I really wasn't yapping, you're just an idiot and just didn't have your shit working. So can you apologize for you saying I was yapping?
No. I mean,
seriously?
No, don't try to turn this on me. This is
Alex,
Moose's fault.
How does it make you feel when Moose says a time and he just shows up late?
I mean, at this point, I'm just not surprised anymore. I used to feel sad. I used to cry. And I used to get really angry, but now it happens so often that it's just expected. I don't even think anything of it. Yeah, I'm immune to it.
Wow. Can you believe that, Moose? You're just so chronically incompetent that Alex is used to it. Just expects incompetence from you.
It's just, I mean, whose fault is it, Moose?
At the end of the day, it is mine.
Is it the gym's fault? Is it the traffic's fault? Whose fault?
It's my fault. I'm not saying it's not my fault, but what I'm saying is that I didn't have any ill intent. It's not like I said, I'm gonna plan for 11 and then I'm gonna push it back to 11:15.
Moose, I know you don't have ill intent. I'm just saying that you're an idiot. Like, if I know that I'm doing something like that, I'm just going to tell the real time. Like today, how I literally said that I couldn't make 1 o'clock because I know I have stuff to do after this. So I knew I wasn't going to be ready by 1 o'clock. But I didn't just say, hey, let's do 1 o'clock anyway, even though I know I'm not going to be ready. I was just like, hey, let's do 2 o'clock. Because I already know. You just live in some la-la land where it's bad to admit that you're going to be late or something. So you always end up fucking pushing the time back when in reality you were never gonna make it to the first time.
How is Moose? How are you going to compensate us for our lost time, 30 minutes?
I knew this conversation was going to happen. This doesn't require compensation.
I just don't agree with that.
I'm already paying for a meal that I shouldn't pay for today.
No.
That's not true.
Me and Alex salvaged that shitty episode because you are terrible.
Not really. Well, no, whatever. What was going on in your guys this week besides what happened today?
I had a pretty good week. I went to. It's actually funny because me and my friends we do the same thing over and over again, and then afterwards we acknowledge it somewhat, but then we never change it. It's like when you go to the mall with like your group of friends, and like it ends up just being that you just walk around the mall like a full time, go into a bunch of stores and buy nothing. So we just have done that multiple times, and then yesterday we went to the outlets and we're all like, yeah, they got some good stuff usually. Like, oh, we could probably buy some cheap stuff. But we would walk into every store. We would look at some stuff. We'd be like, oh, yo, that looks nice, bro. You should get that. Like, everybody's saying it to each other. And then we end up going around the whole thing and leaving with literally nothing. So we drove like 40 minutes to the outlets for no reason. But it was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, the outlets, they actually usually have pretty good stuff. I'm surprised. Usually I just get a couple things when I go there.
No, yeah. They had decent stuff. The problem was like, well, I was looking to get shoes, right? So I look on you know how they have, like at the outlets, they have all the stuff like that's on the shelves. And then in the back, usually, I'm like in the Nike store, they'll just have all the like random boxes of shoes. And then those are like an extra 30% off whatever the price is on the thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go look back there. Everything I would pull out in my size was either hideous or if it did look nice, it was like $140 for some like basic looking shoes. And I was like, bro, I'm not paying $140 for this. And then all the stuff that was like $40 was just absolutely hideous, except one pair of shoes that I saw that I would have bought that was only like, so it's 30% off of, it was like 39 or no, it was literally $29.99. So I would have gotten them for like what, $20? And I was like, yo, I can't even go wrong with that, bro. There's just like plain like Nike running shoes, right? But I was like, yo, those are kind of nice actually. And I need like just shoes to wear. I go to put them on, bro. These are like the tightest shoes I've ever worn in my life, bro. Literally stopping circulation of blood to my foot. So I had to just take it off. And then I couldn't even end up buying those either.
Don't you just have to like break them though? Break them in?
No, it was like to the point where, because it wasn't like, I don't know how to describe the shoe. You know that like meshy shoe material that like Roshi's, like those Nike shoes, the material that's on the outside of those. It's like that. And imagine just part of this is because I have wide feet, so like my feet don't fit into most shoes. But bro, I put my feet in there, and imagine the normal shape of the shoe is stretched out by like a full inch because of how much my foot is like peeking out the side of it. So I don't even think if I broke it in, it would have just like ripped on the side, and that would have been funny.
Okay. That sounded fun. I hung out with some friends yesterday too. We walked to like a pizza place, and that's pretty much it. And then after that, we just had like a really deep conversation for a couple of hours. Did you hang out with any other friends, Al?
Not this week. Why are you asking me that, Moose?
I'm just wondering because when I said, "Hey, Al, I was busy yesterday,"
okay, no. Let me explain what Moose texted me yesterday, okay? Because it's actually so funny because this happened again. The same thing that Moose did today, Moose did yesterday. So Jason, yesterday, we play Fortnite occasionally. He says, Fortnite? And Moose says, yeah, I'll be later on tonight. Every single time we played Fortnite, it's always been at 11 o'clock. And I text him at 11 o'clock. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Please have patience.
Do not
I
worry.
say
We are
11:03. I say hello. It's time, and Moose says, "I'm still out later, but you guys start, and I'll get on later." So he does it again, and I say, "Out? Where?" Keep in mind this is 11:04, and he says, "With this person." He says the name with this friend, and I say, "Where? On a date?" And he says, "Yeah, sure, Mr. Secrets." He just never wants to say it. Then when he actually gets on the call, he wants to be super secretive about where he went or who he went with. Like it's like I'm gonna stalk him or like I'm dating him.
I wasn't secretive. The point was, I said I was with friends. I was with Stan, Koob, and I said I'm with Stan.
Yeah, Stan.
I'm at a friend's house, and that's that. And I was like, "Which friend? Which friend's house were you at?" As if I
No. I did not say it like that. I just wanted to make conversation. That's all.
Most
sound like
most it's even if he did say that, it's 100% reasonable. Like if you told me that, I would ask who. If Alex told me that, I would ask who. If Jason asked me that, I would ask who, because you guys don't hang out with anybody else. So when you guys do it, I'm genuinely interested. Like if I say I'm at my friend's house, there is a difference because I actually hang out with other people. You guys don't hang out with other people.
Wait a minute.
So Moose was trying to rub it into you, Alex, when in reality he was just trying to fucking. It applies to him too. It's completely normal for you to ask him what friend he's with, because Moose only hangs out with us.
That's sort of like a backhanded support, but
Alex, don't. That's a fact, though, right? Is that not a fact? What I just said. That's facts.
It could be considered a fact to some people.
Alex, be 100% honest right now. Moose, name like fucking 3 friends you hang out with that aren't anybody in that other bigger group chat.
Well, I have to come up with Carla.
Who the fuck is that?
You don't know any of them. That's the thing. You don't know my friends. You want to keep going?
Alex, do you know who Carla is?
No, I do not. I've never heard of a Carla.
You don't know any of my friends. You've never even told me about these people, Moose. It's almost like you're just making them up.
No, they were all friends that I hung out with in my neighborhood. They're all from the hood.
Shut up.
Moose, you're from the hood?
Yeah, I have street cred.
Moose runs the hood, bro. Moose runs the hood. Alex, you definitely don't have any other friends.
Not true. I have friends. You just don't know their names. Their names are Billy, Bob, and Joe.
Oh, playing a Moose card. I see you. It's a good move.
Where'd you meet him, Al?
You don't need to know that. Why are you trying to pry into my life, Moose?
He's winning, bro. He's winning.
Okay,
Al. It's good winning.
Since I know you didn't hang out with Billy, Bob, or Joe last week because you said that. So what did you do last week?
You mean this past week?
Yeah. I just stayed at home, played Fortnite,
Okay, I did that. But I did all day yesterday listen to this newest Bruno Mars song, and I hate to bring it up again, but Koob wasn't there last night when we played Fortnite. It is a good song, and I want to ask Koob, since he's hopefully had the opportunity to listen to it a few more times, have you changed your mind about it being mid?
I did not listen to it again.
Seriously? So I text these guys at 12 a.m. because that's when it released. And
we're talking about Bruno Mars' song "Die with a Smile," his latest single.
Yeah, Moose, make sure you tell the audience every single detail about it, because I bet nobody fucking knows or cares that song came out. Yes. So you might as well give them every detail possible.
Okay.
Bro, Alex, I don't know why you have this undying loyalty to fucking Bruno Mars.
Okay.
I understand if he's your favorite artist. I get that. But, like, you yourself can sit there and enjoy the music. I'm not saying you can't, like if a new Taylor Swift thing drops, Moose will listen to the music on his own, probably, right? Or like he said, he likes Olivia Rodrigo more, but yeah, he'll listen to that shit by himself. but he's not gonna send it to all of us. I get the difference because all of us like Bruno Mars, but like Moose is not gonna. If we say, "Oh, we don't like that song," he's not gonna try to jam it down our throats like he's gonna jam this.
I'll see you guys
Bruno
want to
Mars
listen
song.
to Guts, because Guts is a pretty good album.
I don't want to listen to that. It's not the type of music I am interested in, Mr.
All right, first, the reason why I sent that, I didn't even get a chance to listen to it before I sent it to you because I know we all like Bruno Mars, and I wanted to get all of your guys' first impressions at that time. And also it's because he hasn't released a single in like 4 years, so that's why I sent it to you. And it's okay if you don't like it, but the reason why I'm asking you is because you've liked all of his other music, and this just seems like it's an outlier of all the other stuff that you liked, when I think it actually has pretty similar vibes to Silk Sonic, and it's a pretty good song.
I completely disagree.
Yeah, here's the difference, right? So, like, when you sent it I could literally pull up the fucking receipts of what you said in the chat.
Oh, please.
Bro. Okay, look. So, you bring it up, right? And then Moose said it's good, a bit repetitive. Jason said it was mid. And then, let's look at this. You said you didn't listen to it before you sent it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sent it at 12:01. And then at 12:06, when Jason says it's mid, within the minute, you tell him to shut it and you say it's good. And I said, yes. And then I say, this shit is the dictionary definition of mid. And then Aki calls you a Bruno Mars glazer. And then right after I said that, a minute later, you go, don't say such things. You just need some time. It'll grow on you. Trust me.
Yes.
See, like, no, but you're making it seem like, oh, I just wanted to see what their opinions were. And like, I heard Moose's opinion and I just listened to it. I heard Koob's opinion. I just listened to it. No, you were actively pushing back on our opinions because also, you are a Bruno Mars glazer.
I completely disagree that this song, this song has the same vibes as An Evening with Silk Sonic. Those are like, they're in like two different ballparks, man.
No, they are not, bro. The instrumentals and just the vibe of the song.
I listened to that song and then literally right after I'm like, I sent that. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? I'll give it another chance. I put it on in the car. I got like midway through it. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And then I put on Smoking Out the Window, man. Two completely different.
No, they are not. Bro, later today, I want you to play that song and I'm going to play Smoking Out the Window or Leave the Door Open or Put On a Smile, whatever those songs, and it'll sound very similar. You don't know what you're talking about, Bose.
Bruno Mars, literally, it sounded like he was sleepwalking through the song, man. I'm sorry to be a little bit too harsh here, but it just didn't feel like he cared.
Bro, the song was not even that good, man.
No, I'm not saying it's the best song ever. That's the thing. I'm not saying it's the greatest song of all time, but you guys are unfairly shitting on this song as though it's a made or bad song. I give it an 8 out of 10.
You're equating this song to what you yourself has said was your most favorite album of all time. You said that your An Evening with Silk Sonic is like top 4, top 3 at least as an album, and you're equating the Lady Gaga song with that. You're just glazing, man.
No,
Alex, to call that song an 8 out of 10 is so absurd. Like, okay. I don't think you realize, like, on that scale of, like, how absurd that is. Because, like, 10 out of 10, obviously that's reserved for, like, the 3 to 5 songs, I would say, that you genuinely think are, like, the best songs ever, right? Like, your favorite songs ever. And then 9s are, like, songs that are so close to that, but just are missing like one little thing. And then 8 is just like a really like an average, really good song. Like, I don't know why you're using the 1 to 10. You're using the 1 to 10 scale the same way Moose uses the 1 to 10 scale, and it pisses me off.
No. I'm not saying it's a B minus.
If you get a no, that's basically. Oh yeah, you're not saying it's a B minus, and that's the problem, bro. It's not an 8 out of 10. If you give it a B minus, I'm actually okay with that. But a 1 to 10 scale, and if you give it a 8, bro, that shit was like honestly, if I'm judging it on all music, it's like a 4, maybe a 3. Like, I won't come back to that. And then if it's a Bruno Mars song, just actually, yeah. If I'm judging it on all songs, it's probably like a 3 because I don't see myself going back to it at all. And then on a Bruno Mars scale, I'll give it like a 4 because I don't even think it's the average Bruno Mars song. I think it's lower than that.
That is insane.
I also want to like address something. I know like in the past we came out with some like I would say incorrect takes when it came to like the Ariana Grande Weekend collab that they had. Like that song grew on us. But the difference between that song and this song is that I had expectations for that Ariana Weekend collab. I had 0 expectations for this song, and it met them. It met those expectations.
You had 0 expectations for a collab of 2 of the biggest artists in the world, one of which hasn't released a single in 4 years, and is on your top 5 Spotify top artists every single year. You had 0 expectations for this single?
Bro, did you even know it was coming out, Moose?
No.
I didn't even. Nobody knew that it was coming out, bro. How can you have expectations for something that you didn't know was coming out?
Because you can have expectations for something like before you click on the song to listen. You could say, "Wow, I wonder what this is going to be. It's probably going to be a great song." You don't have to build expectations over a period of a few weeks.
No, also, but there's a difference. Like the other one, like Moose was making the comparison of the reason we're so like excited for that Die For You remix because we really like that song, and then they had a collab before that was really good. So there's like a bunch of different factors leading into it, and that's why we were disappointed with it at first. But like as you listen to it more, it starts growing on you more. This song had no expectations, and even if you try to make little expectations right before you listen to it, like, oh, this has 2 of the biggest artists, they're not going to be the same as the expectations we had for another song. So they're not going to have any weight. Me
are you saying
on my Spotify? What? Go ahead, Alex.
Are you saying your expectations grow as the weeks or days build up to the song?
No, that song just had things that were like
that, and that they've collaborated before, right? But it just because it might have been, I don't even know if it was a rumor to be released a few days before, but just it not being rumored to be released a few days before change your expectations at all? No, right?
Yeah,
no,
for me it does.
I mean, low
for
key,
me, expectation. It's like momentum. It's like a ball rolling down the hill. It gains speed as it keeps rolling.
Bro, Alex, if I don't know if I don't know that it existed, why would I have expectations of it when it comes out?
Okay, so you're saying if it had been leaked like maybe a week before, you would have had higher expectations going into it?
I'm being as 100% honest as I can. I probably wouldn't even have cared, to be honest. I would have seen it on my Instagram and just scrolled past it.
You're late. If this was like maybe 10 years ago, you would have an argument. But the difference between Ariana and Weeknd collabing and Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars collabing is that one pair were at like the peak of their careers, and then the other pair are at like the latter end, the tail end of their careers.
Hold on, no,
at this point, man.
No, Moose. Both of them are probably past the prime of their careers. Okay, both of them peaked in like 2010 to 2016.
Are you talking about both pairs? Because if you're saying Ariana and The Weeknd...
No. Both Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga peaked. Okay. Lady Gaga probably a little earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So that means even less expectations for me.
So you just backed up Moose's point. What are you saying? You're literally supporting Moose. What are you saying?
No,
are you dumb?
I'm saying they both have proven success in the past. And
oh my god! Shut up!
No. Listen, I would understand. I would understand if it's like, okay, never mind. Listen, this is my opinion. Okay, I liked it. We can move on because we have a whole episode to talk about. But I'd like to hear what the audience thinks, and not played by this stupid bias against Bruno Mars.
How is it biased? How is it biased?
Al, if you found out Madonna and Seal were doing a collab next year, would you give a shit?
No,
but they have a proven track record of success, Alex. Why would you disregard their proven track record of success?
Chill.
Yeah, look at you. You're just dumb. You're dumb. And also, I would like to just say, if this was me like 3 years ago, I probably would have graded the thing the song higher. But also, like anything else, my taste in music has changed. So I don't grade these kind of songs as highly as I would have when I was more into this kind of music.
I also
you have a right to your opinion. I'm not saying it.
I also
It
don't
just
think
doesn't
like
seem
I just
that
think you're.
way.
I just think you're wrong. I just think you're wrong.
I also
Okay.
don't think their styles mesh all that well. Like I like some of the Gaga songs. The fuck she knows about Bruno Mars.
Oh my god. Moose just quoted Kanye.
Oh my god.
I get it because Alex is being a fucking music Nazi right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just disagreeing with your take. That's all I'm doing.
No, you are not. You're just trying to influence our opinions and shut us down if we have opposing views.
No.
Well, I get it. I get
You
what you're
can have
thinking.
a wrong opinion. That is okay. To
I
have
get
wrong
what
opinions.
you're thinking though right now, right? Right now you're thinking, fuck you. And that's the theme of today's episode. I want you guys to think back. Yeah, it is actually. I want you to think back to times in your life where you had like an interaction and something happened and the like visceral response that came from your body was fuck you, and you use that to fuel your future endeavor. Basically, fuck you energy. Has that happened?
Moose, why don't you go first one time?
Great idea.
Moose?
Yeah?
I said, why don't you go first?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I've said it like in the past, I like to compete, right? Specifically without, but like in general, most things. So what was it? What was the thing? So in 7th grade, do you remember the Bueller project?
Yeah, that was that like
rings a bell.
Like science class thing, right?
Yeah. So part of that was there's only 7th grade. They would take most kids that were in the honor science courses to basically go check out. I think it was like a NASA space simulation, from what I understand. And let's like get like astronaut ice cream and just like it's a field trip and everything. But there's only a limited amount of people that they can take. And so every single year they do something called the Bueller Project, where you basically have to get where basically if you do all the projects correctly and if your grade's high enough, then you get to go. If you miss any portion of the project, you're out of the running to even get onto the trip. So in 7th grade, I wasn't doing homework. I didn't like doing homework. I didn't give a shit about doing homework, so I wasn't doing homework. And that was like one of the requirements. If you missed enough homework, you're not going to go on the trip. And so that's what happened. I didn't get to go on the trip. But the fact that I didn't get to go on the trip really was like, damn it, I feel like my teacher thinks I'm an idiot. I feel like she thinks I'm completely incompetent. And so literally the project right after you guys got back from the Bueller trip was some sort of science report on the weather. And I like literally put all of my time and energy into it. I stayed up late. I made like a full cover page and everything. The actual science in it was sort of off, but the amount of effort showed. So like I used that disappointment to carry me success.
Oh, can I say something about that project?
Yes.
I would like to say proudly that I was the first person in our grade to get eliminated from going on that trip. I can say that with pride because I think it was like you can't miss 3 homework assignments or something, and I missed the first 3 homework assignments. It was like I think it was something like that. And then also after I got kicked out, bro, like she still made me do like the parts of the project, and I would just sit there and do nothing. But Moose, I remember when all of them went on that trip, I had a blast because she wasn't there, so we had a substitute, and I remember the substitute just let us do whatever we wanted. So I was chilling when she was gone because I hated her. I remember that teacher; she was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't have her, so I think that's why I don't know.
Yeah, she was terrible. She was just mean. I don't know if Moose that was who you had, right? Okay. Cool.
Moose?
Moose.
Technological issues again for the 19th episode in a row.
Alex, what are you going to get on your second bowl now? Since, we're already getting one free from the other time. So what do you want?
No, we're not. I'm
your
right here.
second bowl now? Oh my God, there were two mooses for a second. That was scary.
My God.
You guys are getting free shit. Okay, I'm right here.
Well, if you keep leaving and fucking around, then we might. There's a chance. But yeah, Moose, that project was definitely terrible. But I feel like, I don't know, man. I had fun with, because the thing is, half the kids, right? So, like, if you were in the honors group, everybody was already gone, right? Like, so, like, half your classes didn't have any people in them, right? So I remember it was just, like, nobody in classes, and then we were like, yo, since there's nobody, the teachers were all like, hey, since there's nobody here, we're not going to do anything today. So we ended up just fucking around for, like, a full day at school instead of on a trip, basically. So I had fun still.
I don't remember doing much. I think that was around the time Pi Day was happening. I'm not sure when the exact specifics of the trip was, but I think that's what we did in math class, maybe? I'm not sure. Or it was like a little bit after, so there were still some snacks left over.
Nice.
Wow, you went on the trip, so how was the trip?
I don't really remember, if I'm honest. I don't know if I had a different teacher. I vaguely remember it.
Both classes got to go.
Wait, this was like the moon stuff? Space stuff?
Yes.
I all I remember was that I was able to touch some rocks. That's about it.
That sounds super exciting, though, Alex. I can't lie.
I don't really remember much, if I'm honest. I probably wasn't paying attention. I was probably just happy I didn't have to go to class.
Dude. All right, Alex,
I don't
you want to go next? Or I want to go next?
No, I can go. It's not really as in-depth as Moose's was, but I actually had a situation yesterday happen that I thought it would be good. So I get a call yesterday twice from an unknown number, and I picked up the second time that they called, and I say hello, and then the other guy on the phone is like, hello, and I'm like, yes, who is this? And they're like, oh, my name is Dave. Okay, why are you calling me, Dave? Oh, I'm calling on behalf of the green company. Okay, what are you talking about? What is the green company? Oh, it's a company. We're based out of North Carolina. Hello? Why are you calling me? And then he finally goes, oh, we are calling about, we're a solar energy company. And so we're calling our customers, try to see if they need any solar panels or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, no thank you. Please take me off your call list. And then he says, why would you even ask me those stupid questions if you knew you didn't even want this anyway? And then he just hangs up. Hello? I don't even know who you are. I don't know your company. I don't know anything. And you're going to get mad at me about asking a question about your company and why you're calling? So I wanted to curse him out, but he hung up. And I didn't want to get put on a call list for every single company, spam company out there. But I felt like I was on the other end when I used to do calls for telemarketing companies. And I could see how angry I make them.
People?
No.
People out of their
not scamming
savings.
I was soliciting donations for charities is what I was doing.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Alex, that reminds me, I don't know why it reminded me of just the other day that for my job I have to get licensed in like different types of insurance producing. So I'm going to take one of the exams, right? And it's like proctored, right? It's live proctored, and the person is just communicating with you through a chat bubble, right? Or like a chat thing. And I'm sitting there at my desk, and you guys know what my desk looks like, right? I have I'm on my laptop. So I have my laptop in front of my monitor that I use to play games. And then I was like, okay, they might say something about the monitor. If they do, I'll just like unplug it and move it, right? It's whatever. So I put it there, and then he was like, oh, show me your desk. He sees it, and then he was like, oh, can you remove the monitor from the desk? I was like, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I figured while he tells me to remove that, I'll remove that, and then I'll also remove my keyboard and my mouse and my other computer that's there, right? Like, move all that stuff. So all that's left on the desk is an Xbox controller, Xbox, like the little like toys and shit, like the F1 car, the Milker's ring, the Among Us character, and my tech deck. That's what's left, and 4 protein bars. That's what's left on my desk, right?
Yeah.
And then I pan the camera back, and he was like, oh, show me the desk with everything off. I was like, okay. I show him the desk, and then he was like, oh, you need to remove everything from the desk. And I was like, bro, do they think I'm going to cheat off this protein bar? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm like getting frustrated at this point because this whole process is taking like 15 minutes. So I start grabbing the things and just chucking them onto my bed. And like when I get mad, I'm not going to hide it. So I'm like, bro, this is so fucking annoying. Like I'm saying this out loud. And then after I clear the whole thing and I show him the desk again, bro, then he's like, oh, can you show me underneath the desk? And then I was like, bro, what does this guy think? Like, bro, he made me show him all 4 corners of the room. And you know how my basement looks, bro. Like, I'm buried in one corner and everything's on the other side. So they're like, show me the other. Bro, I literally got up and pointed my camera to like the punching bag and I'm moving it up and down. I pointed to where the ping pong table is, move it up and down. And then I sit back down. And then after I showed him, bro, I'm not even wearing like socks or anything in my house, bro. And he like, I'm basically showing this guy my feet, bro. I was like, this guy has a foot fetish or something. And then after I do all that, he says it again, like, oh, show me underneath the desk. And then that's when I just get, as I'm getting up and grabbing the thing, I go, what the fuck is this dude doing, bro? As I'm holding my laptop. So he definitely heard.
Why would you do that?
Bro, because he was.
You weren't muted or anything?
No, there was no muting. And then this is probably karma, to be honest. But I put it down, and then he finally lets me start, right? And what's it called? So I noticed when I'm taking the exam that I had an extra tab open, right? Like they put me in a secure browser thing, but it didn't tell me to close off anything else. So I'm like going to X out the tab, and I just click the X and it just closes. The tab never even switched over, right? So like I'm still on the screen, nothing even popped up. I just X'd out the tab. And then all of a sudden my thing freezes. It says you are in violation. And then it says the reason is you were looking at other screens. And it gave me it failed me for the exam.
Oh my gosh.
So then right afterwards, I like call my boss because I was like, bro, I don't want him to think that I was actually cheating or anything like that. And I explained to him the whole thing. And you should have seen his reaction, bro. He was like, oh yeah, those guys are awful. He was like, those are some of the worst people that we have to deal with. He was like, everybody fails at least like 2 times based on like them just not knowing the material. But some people have literally failed like 4 times this exam because of the fact that they constantly get kicked out for like this shitty ass system. So next time I'm just going to sit in like, I'm going to find like an abandoned room with nothing in there besides like an outlet. And I'm going to sit there with my computer and like fucking show the thing, bro. That was like, that actually did ruin my day though. Like after that, I was just heated for the whole rest of the day.
That exact thing happened to me when I was taking the CLEP exam. So, for the same thing with you, I needed to get certified to be an accountant. And for that, you need to have 150 credits. Getting 150 credits is already a whole other fuck you story. But in short, I was taking a class at a county college. I had to write an essay for a class, and every single time I would write an essay, the guy would be like, "Nah, you used AI. This is gonna get a 0." I'm like, "Fuck! What the fuck you mean? Most of that writing is my writing. Those are my fucking words. Fuck." And so at the 3rd time, I talked to him, and he's like, "Oh well, I'm not even really using the AI detector. I can just tell really just by reading it that it's AI. So." yeah, I'm not gonna change the grade for your essay. It's still gonna be a 0. I'm like, okay, go fuck yourself then. I'm dropping this class. So because I dropped the class and I still needed it to get 150 credits, I decided to take the CLEP exam, which would give me like 2 or 3 credits if I pass the exam. So I do that. I schedule myself for what I thought would be a relatively easy exam. I think it was linear algebra. Turns out it has the lowest passing rate out of all the CLEP exams. Who knew? So I started just basically, I didn't study actually at all. Now that I think about it, I got the books, but I didn't. I looked at it for like 5 seconds right before I took the exam, or I was supposed to take the exam, and then I got on. And you guys know my apartment, so there's like not that much space for me to really be at, especially if I have people over. Like if my parents are here, or if my sister are here, there's like not really many places to go. So I was originally going to take it in my dining room because it's a relatively quiet place. No one's going to be coming out. My family's going to be inside, so it doesn't matter. I go through the process, like you said, I scanned everything. There was nothing anywhere. I had papers, but I didn't know paper was banned until later. I did all that, and then midway through, he's like, "Oh, can you rescan it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I can rescan it." So I showed him underneath the dining table. I showed him what's on the fridge. I showed him everywhere, and he's like, "Rescan it one more time. Do it again." And then he's like, "Oh, you can't be in the dining room." I'm like, "Great. Why the fuck did you have me rescan it if you knew that this was a dining room?" So then I asked my sister to get out of the room, and then I basically cleared up the desk as much as I can, but there was still stuff on it. But it was like makeup and a mirror. So I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. And so I do the scanning process all over again. And he's like, "Oh, well, can you scan it?" And he had me scan it 5 more times without telling me anything about what I needed to get rid of. On the 5th time, he's like, "Oh, you need to clear off the entire desk. There can't be any type of makeup or anything like that. You can't have a sign that says the love on it because I guess you can cheat using that." And so I take all that, I put it behind the bed, bunk bed. I'm like, okay, here it is. And so I scan it again, everything, and I scan underneath the desk, and there's makeup underneath the desk because I have 3 sisters who like to put on makeup. And so he's like, "No, you gotta get rid of that one too." And so I do that as well. And then he's like, "You can't have the clock that's on your fucking desk." Okay, I'll get rid of the clock. And then I had a piece of blank paper, and I'm like, it is literally my ID, a piece of blank paper, a pencil, and that's it. I also secretly, sorry, Clip, I had my phone on me. I thought that the camera would only be on. I thought the camera would only be on if like he's scanning the room. Otherwise, during the exam. Otherwise, it's going to be off. So obviously, I would take my phone out during when I know I'm not scanning the room. But then other times I would just like hide it. But then he's like, scan out the room again and again and again. And then he's sending me these vague messages going like, "Just so you know, you're not allowed to have any sort of outside materials or anything like that." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I don't have any outside materials." And then he's like, "You can't have that piece of paper. You gotta have a whiteboard." I'm like, now I have to find a fucking whiteboard. Couldn't find one. I got like a piece of glass and paper, taped it together, and I said, "That's my whiteboard."
What the fuck,
and then
bro?
I scanned it again and again and again, like 5 more times, because like it's too fast, it's too slow. You didn't go high enough, you didn't go low enough. And so then he's like, "Also, you do know the camera's on the entire time. So I saw you take your phone out and then hide it when you have to scan it. So just go put your phone on." I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, sorry, that wasn't a phone. That's a calculator. I didn't realize that we weren't allowed to have calculators during this exam. I'm sorry, I'll just go put it away." I'm like, "Yeah, you're not allowed to have a calculator. Just go take care of that." And so that took like, I don't know, a fucking 2 or 3 hours. And then at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, he just ghosted me basically and just like kicked me out of the exam, and I had to reschedule it. I fucking hate.
I'm telling you, bro. Those things are actually so terrible, bro. Like, I don't understand how they could be that. I don't get why they have to, bro. If I show you, like, he asked me when I did it, bro, like if I show you left and right of me and then like the desk underneath, I get why they want to see underneath, but like obviously I don't have anything like stashed under the bed or under the desk that I'm gonna like detach and put on the thing. But I was like, if you know the camera's on the whole time, then how am I gonna grab something without you seeing it? Like I don't think they're actually like, bro, it makes no sense. Like how would I like hide something and then be able to get it without you being able to see me do it? It doesn't make any sense.
And the fact that it has to be in a closed room too. Like these exams, like the CLEP exam especially, is like supposed to be for people who weren't able to like finish all their credits and everything like that, and can't necessarily afford to go to school beyond that. And so I would think that they would be a little bit more accommodating for people who are like low incomes, where they just don't have access to a closed off room, clear of nowhere, clear of nothing.
Yeah,
No.
that makes like perfect. That's like a completely reasonable assumption. I remember some of the exams that I even took during college. Like, bro, I would have to take them sometimes like not in my basement because there were people there or something. So I would be like sitting on my like on a bed doing it, right? Because like that was the only other spot for me, or like sitting on a couch doing it, like not like propped up on a table. And then one of them, the professor goes like, "Oh, is it possible for you to be at like a desk or something?" And then I was like, "No, I actually don't have any desks available right now." And then she was like, "Oh, so I don't know if this is gonna work." I was like, "What are you talking about, bitch? I'm literally sitting on a couch, bro. Like, what are you actually talking about?" I was like, "How is this a concern?" But it just makes no sense to me.
Damn. I've never had any tests like that. So
Color of your skin. It's the only Moose. That's the only reasonable assumption.
That's what I'm thinking.
I just don't think Alex. If they see a guy like Alex, they're not going to give him a hard time. He could have like a whole like projector with notes and stuff on behind him, and as he's showing the room, just have notes taped all over the room, and they'd be like, "Oh no, that's fine." And he could
I
just
will
take it
say
and cheat.
I had something that is like sort of close, but not really. But in college, I had this class where it was like a class where you did like resume building. You guys know what class I'm talking about. Resume building and LinkedIn stuff and interview
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And one of the assignments was to do a mock interview, and I had to complete it by the end of the semester, and I had to speak with a real person on video. And you're supposed to like go the whole 9 yards. You're supposed to dress up. You're supposed to have your resume in front of you and everything. And I was on camera and I was preparing for it, and I'm like, I don't need shoes. I don't need socks because they're not going to see that part of me. They're not going to really see if I have dress shoes on, right? And then in the interview, she's like, "Are you all dressed? Can I just see? Or she says, "Are you all dressed up, like the whole thing?" And I said, "Yeah, everything. I'm good." And she's, "Can I see? Can you pan your camera down so I can see your outfit?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." After I just lied to her face that I had shoes on, so I pan the camera down just low enough so it doesn't see my feet, like literally just so it sees the bottom of my pants, and I say, "Yeah, that's about as low as my camera goes." I said that's as low as my camera goes, and she was like, "Oh, okay, no problem."
I'm
I
pretty
didn't have
sure
to.
they said that you were supposed to dress up fully, though.
I
I don't
just
know if
didn't
they
think
said
that.
that in your class, but in my class, I was told that, like, hey, don't, like, do the half dress thing. And they were like, oh, also, like, if, like, wear, like, dress shoes in the thing because, like, they're going to ask you to pan your camera all the way down. So I think that's just on you, man. I'm not going to lie. But you got away with it, so it doesn't matter.
I did, and you know why I got away with it?
Because you're white.
Why?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I just thought you were gonna say this because of the color of your skin.
No, I wouldn't say something like that, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty disgusting thought, Al. Why would you think that we say that?
It's just like you think you're superior to me and Moose
It's
because you're
just
white.
no. I mean,
Is that why?
if you rewind this, literally about 5 minutes ago, less than that, you guys said that. Just
Don't remember
repeating
that.
the joke.
I don't remember
Zero
that,
clue what
honestly.
you're talking about, man.
Well, for when he cuts it out inevitably, audience, they did say that joke.
Now that you are a piece of shit.
I don't know why, but that sound effect to me sounds like Moose is making the noise.
Yeah, those beans are so funny.
It sounds like Moose, bro.
Also, I want to make something clear. Just so they don't take my credits away. I didn't cheat on your exam, Klep. Okay? I took the linear algebra. It wasn't that fucking hard. I don't know why everyone said, "Oh, yeah, it's like a 50% chance of getting a passing." It wasn't. It was like really easy. So,
Mr. Intellectual.
I didn't have to cheat. Yeah. That's right.
Probably dumb people take the test. That's why. A bunch of dumb people take the test.
No, I think the test is given to actually people with really high IQs.
Yeah, sure.
Even then,
why are you taking it then?
I have like the highest IQ.
Give him the last track. Give him the last track.
Please give it to me. No.
Dude, that was funny. Alex, I liked your joke, man. So it's okay. Moose is just a hater.
I know. And he's doing the charger.
I think that might be worse than getting the booze, not gonna lie. Fuck off, Moose. Just wrap up the damn episode.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Please go ahead and check us out on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and any other podcasting platform. We are literally everywhere. There's a poll underneath this podcast. If you're on Spotify, just answer that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.